What I want to talk to you about in this segment is what I call the 100% rule. I use this rule for myself and for my clients, and my children would probably tell you I have used it on them, okay? And here's the rule. I am always 100% responsible for what I say or do. No excuses, even if I'm hurting, even if I'm sick, even if I got bad news, even if I'm having a bad day, even if things are not going right, or even if I am on a medication for whatever reason, which would be very rare for me. But if I am still responsible for what I say and do. I'm also responsible for what I think. And I've done the emotional fitness program, which I've written, so I'm also responsible for how I feel or how I choose to communicate or experience that feeling. All of it, 100% responsible. Now, as a mom, you would probably share those same values, that we're responsible for our behavior. We can't grow, we can't learn, or we can't change something in our lives until we first take responsibility. Your husband, whether he cheated, whether he is a sex addict, whether he's an intimacy anorexic, until he accepts full responsibility, he can't change. If he's still blaming you, he can't change. Okay? So you see how this works. Now, triggers externally, internally, or even meaning triggers can and will happen. We've established that. You're not responsible for the trigger, and you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for his bad choices. However, you are responsible for what you say or do with the trigger. Now, some of you don't want responsibility. Right now, you're mad at me. You're like, Dr. Weiss, how can you say that? I thought you liked us. No, I love you. I have given my life to partners, 30 plus years. I've educated myself for you. I've written more for you. And because you're an adult, you are responsible for how you behave. But you don't understand what you did. No, I understand more than anybody on the planet. I have worked with your husband for 30 years. I have seen your pain. And I'm still responsible even when I'm in pain. Now, I may act differently. I may have to say I'm sorry. I may have to ask for forgiveness, but I'm still responsible. And you are able to decide which paradigm you will use to control this trigger, which tool or resource you will use to utilize to get through this trigger event, and what emotion or meaning you're going to give this trigger. Now, I just say this because it's really important, because I want you to feel totally in control. You don't have to be out of control because there's a trigger. You don't have to get base in your language, okay? Now, you might need support. You might want to make phone calls. That's legit. You might need to be stabilized by another woman. That's legit. You might be experiencing intensity beyond your ability to control. Okay, then do the emotional fitness stuff. We'll talk about that. And get management of that intense feeling. But we are responsible for how we behave. And I say this because if you don't accept that, no matter what tool I give you, it'll be inadequate. Because if you're not responsible for your behavior, then you don't have to use those tools, and you don't have to grow, and you don't have to change. You don't have to learn. You don't have to be taught by triggers. You get to blah. And that's okay to blah, but not at somebody. If you want to go in your room and yell and scream, you know, I've written all the anger work stuff. I believe every partner should go in a room and have a big fit and get it out of her system. I believe in healing. I believe in using the rage and the anger and the hurt in constructive ways, in healing ways. Those are all great, and you deserve that. But as you're going through your healing process, keep looking at your responsibility. Okay, it'll help you heal. That's the only reason I'm suggesting it. The triggers are going to come. The pain is going to be real. Your meanings, your feelings, they're all going to be there. But how you behave, what you say, and what you do is intentional behavior, and you are responsible for that. And I want you to be proud of the way you handle pain. Okay, I want you to be proud of the way that you walk through this. The fact that you've been trashed and your life has been spared no pain and humiliation is sad to me. How you walk out of this, that's you.